Dinoto Karate Center in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Thank you so much once again for joining me today on the next episode, on our episode of the Black Belt Strong Zone. And one of the concerns of teachers and, of course, parents as well, okay, parents as well, this is for you parents out there and teachers out there. One of the main concerns has to do with maintaining order in the classroom. Okay, children will misbehave, and so one way to ensure that we have well-mannered students on the floor is our way of disciplining. And so I want to talk about three kinds of discipline that I implement on the floor as a martial arts instructor at Dinoto Karate Center. And this is, I think, many teachers, it will benefit you guys and parents. This idea of disciplining and these three ways to discipline will definitely benefit you. But before we get started, guys, if you want to find out more about our martial arts program, definitely contact me. You can text me at 856-278-5282. Just text me here and any questions you might have. But what I found that a lot of families and parents that are interested in martial arts at our school have the same questions. How young do you start? How much is the program? And what if I want to get started? What if I like it and I want to keep going? How much is it month to month? So I answer all those questions very simply in this this is not a fancy website right there, martialarts2020.com. I answer all those questions and see if our martial arts program is right for you. Okay, and just go through that right there. Go there, martialarts2020.com, and you'll know right away whether our school, our martial arts program is right for you and your family. So anyway, when a student gets out of order in our classroom, the one thing we do is we make sure we implement discipline. Now, the question simply is this, what do you mean by discipline and what kind of discipline? It's funny because many of the kids that I asked them this question: what does discipline mean to you? And many of them, more often than not, they'll give me their meaning of discipline, and their meaning would be very painful, like you get spanked or you or you get punished, and it's a very painful experience, this mindset, this thought of discipline. And so I'm thinking that when I go to a child and say, hey, look, if you don't listen, you don't pay attention, if you get off track on what you need to do in the class, I'm going to have to discipline you. And the moment I say discipline, many kids in their minds think pain. Oh my gosh, I'm going to hate this. I'm going to get disciplined. So the first thing I have to make sure I make understood with our students and even our parents is our definition of discipline. What do we mean? What do I mean by discipline? And this is what I tell our students. This is what I tell our parents. Discipline for us at Dinoto Karate Center, for me, discipline is simply this, is doing the right thing, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline, do the right thing, whether you feel like it or not. And so my goal from myself is to be disciplined, to do the right thing, whether I feel like it or not. I got to get up early in the morning. I don't feel like getting up in the morning, but I'll do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. That's discipline. I teach myself and I create a structured environment so that I do the right thing and I discipline myself to do the right thing, whether I feel like it or not. And so we have to make sure we understand that. Discipline, do the right thing, whether you feel like it or not. So now, once we've established our definition of discipline, there are three kinds of discipline that I will implement it. And I'm going to talk about that with you guys in this video. Okay, so let's get to it right away. Number one is what I call preventive discipline. Preventive discipline. In other words, we create an environment at Dinoto Karate Center where the moment someone becomes a student, matter of fact, even before that, when you come to our school, we always recommend that you visit our school and see what we're about. Meet me, meet our instructors, get the sense of the environment, get that gut feeling. What does it feel like when I walk into this environment? And what you will experience, and this is our plan, is that it's a very supportive environment, and there's structure there. And the moment a child becomes a student, the first thing we're going to teach them is the structure of the environment, the bow. And what does the bow mean? The bow has to do with making a promise to do your best, forget the rest. They get into it. And so we teach them, we discipline them, we teach them what is the right thing to do. How do you act? How do you behave in this environment? And all our curriculum is designed to help the children stay focused on what they are supposed to do. So preventive discipline is focusing on a motivating curriculum that grabs the students' attention so that they can stay focused on the work at hand. This way we keep them from even thinking about or being diverted to misbehavior. And we do this in certain ways. And one of the ways we do this is we disguise our repetition with fun drills. And that is our way to help the kids stay on track. We try to make it as fun as possible. We're not talking about being silly, even though every once in a while I'm guilty of being silly. I'm only human. Sometimes I get pretty silly and I have to check myself. But we create this environment where it's fun. And what we do every day, the structure that we implement every single day is designed in a fun way, with smiles, with jokes, with laughter, and with compassion and empathy. And so this is our way to keep students disciplined and keep them focused on the task at hand. This way they do not go on that track of misbehavior. Okay, and we do the best that we can to do that. So that's one way, one kind of discipline, one way we implement discipline in our curriculum at Dinoto Karate Center, what we call preventive discipline. Number two is this: supportive discipline. Supportive discipline is where we assist the misbehaving child, the misbehaving student, with self-control. We assist them. We help them to have self-control so they can stay and get back on track and stay on track. So they start veering off, okay, we support them by reminding them of why they're there. When they do the karate bow, every student does the karate bow, and the bow has to do with making a promise to themselves to do their best and forget everything else. Just focus on the task at hand. And so when we see a child getting off track, misbehaving, we remind them of that promise. And so in that moment, they take control of their behavior and they get back on track. That's the idea. So we support the discipline. We support this idea of doing the right thing, whether you feel like it or not. Maybe they feel like getting off track. I get off track. I get a little silly, or maybe I get unfocused. And Master Dinoto will come, Master Liciaga, to stay focused here. So he supports my discipline, my ability to control myself. So, oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And I get back on track. So that's what we call supportive discipline. That's our number two. Number three is what I'm calling corrective discipline. And this includes dealing with the problem directly. Right away, when we realize that a child is misbehaving, they're off track, and we've done the best we can to get them back on track by supporting their desire to be disciplined. Because we know every single student does want to do the right thing. They do want to be disciplined. But we do have those moments and those children, and we all fall into that where we have to be corrected. Now, correction, what I mean by correction is not about intimidating or making a child feel uncomfortable. We support the child, and corrective discipline is simply reminding them, but in a very direct way. So for example, it might look like this. I may realize that one of our students they're off track, they're misbehaving. We've done all that we can to get them back on track. And so now we need to do corrective discipline. We call them off. We'll say, hi, little student, come right over here. Can I speak to you for a second? Come over here. And I'll always start off with something positive. I say, I'm so excited that you came today. Thank you so much for coming today. And I know you're doing your best, right? Give me a high five. You're doing your best. Excellent. Now, you remember the promise you made when you came in, that bow to, and you bow and promise to do your best to forget the rest and just really, really get after it today. You remember that? And they'll all say, yes, sir, I do. Great. I just need to remind you to do that. Right now, you're off track. We got to get back on track. Can you do that for me? And they'll always say, yes, sir. And we'll give them a high five. We'll get them back on the dot, get them back on just on track. So that's what I call corrective discipline, where I deal with the student directly. I take them off to the side privately. I do not intimidate them in front or embarrass them in front of the class. I make sure that I take them off to the side. And that's the plan. That's what I call corrective discipline. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you today, the 3 kinds of discipline that I definitely strive to implement at Dinoto Karate Center. If you want to find out more about our program, go to martialarts2020.com. It's very easy. It's no fancy. It's not a website that's fancy. It's very simple and easy. You go there, just answer a couple of questions, and that most of our parents ask. About the scheduling, about the pricing. What do you do? It's very, very easy. Go through these series of questions, and you'll find out whether our program is right for you or not. It's very easy. And then, of course, you can always connect with me and text me here, 856-278-5282, or you can just message me. Other than that, guys, have a great day. See you guys on the mats. Take care.